Uh, it's like frozen up. There we go. I think we're in good shape. All right, we're still moving.
Okay.
Go ahead, keep talking to the people.
Should I wait for this to come back?
Wait for what? Yeah, yeah. No, just keep talking. It's okay.
Um, yeah. So she was.
Refresh it, actually.
Yeah, that's what I just did. She
Yeah.
was making like she made decisions. She didn't even know the kid, and she was making decisions for the kid. And so like he had to. If the mother would have never said that, it didn't matter anyway. Like she didn't have to crush all those dreams in the mind of the kid. Like if she would have asked some questions and found out where her daughter was actually at, but she came in there saying, "Well, I'm the mother." And making her stand in the ground when she hasn't been a mother to this girl for all these years, but then she wants to come in and claim that title. And that that's not healthy for kids. If you're in there to claim your title, you have to go in there and be that. And I just, I saw you a lot of, like, the thing is, the point that I was trying to make was just that if that woman would have waited, I don't even know her name. I do this. Guys, this is what you're going to notice. It's something I'm trying to change, but I do not pay attention to any names during movies. It's such an annoying habit.
Yeah.
So the mother, she doesn't know anything. If she would have asked him, I can't remember where I was going with that, but she didn't ask him any questions. So she didn't know where the little girl was at. If she would have known, that whole scene could have been different because there was no reason to take all those dreams away from her. She could have just kept going with it. But,
yeah, there was a lot that the mom didn't know.
And she wasn't curious.
And she, I mean, the deadbeat mom phenomena is a lot more rare than the deadbeat dad phenomena.
Her name is Julie. Right.
And
Julie.
For a little bit, yeah, Julie, Mike, yeah. It was interesting watching it because I met my mother when I was 4. So that scene where they're at the beach and it's like, could that be mom? Could that be mom? Could that be
at
mom?
the zoo? Yeah.
Or the zoo, whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, that was such a crazy moment because, I remember when I met my mom for the first time. I was in Jamaica and my cousin was with me. We were playing. He looked out the window and goes, "Yo, that's your mom." And I was like, "For real?" He's like, "Yeah, for real, that's your mom." So I ran outside and I ran right up to her and I was like, "Are you my mom?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'm your mom." And ever since then we were like that. Like I completely idolized her, like it was like, she was bad, she swore,
she smoked.
I
remember you saying that you thought she was so cool.
I thought she didn't care about anybody's rules. Yeah. Like she was just complete I was like, oh my God, completely liberated American, with American money, like insane. And yeah, so I remember that scene was just like crazy to me. Like I was watching it, like having flashbacks, like running up to my mom in the driveway and her hugging me and being so cool. You know what I'm saying? But to the lady's point, it is not rare anymore. Ladies are, for whatever the reasons are, deadbeat mom, deadbeat dad, whatever the reasons are, there's a lot of pressure happening right now in the world. And unfortunately, the kids always end up getting the short end of the stick. So that was probably the most impactful movie to me, moment of the movie with me because it was so true to life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's and he was not the kid's biological dad. But by the end of the movie, you don't care because there's no way that dude could have loved her any more than he already loved her. Right? And I've got people in my life that do not have any of my DNA whatsoever, but they're still in my bloodstream. You see what I'm saying? And I don't. We're a blended family, so I've got, mixed DNA influence, but there's no distinction with any of them. Mm-hmm. And that's just real. It's not. Mm-hmm. I knew Shorty since before she was born. Mm-hmm. There were a lot of nights I was praying for Shorty. She was asleep in the crib. You know what I'm saying? Like literally. So Like when you put all that crazy shit in her head, I used to pray that God would give you some. Sori used to do this with her baby girl, her first baby. She had this giant. She had this horrible rubber band would have these indentations. Like, yo, like
It's
Shorty,
the
it's
little
all these like little
it's the
ridges on her
little
head.
hair tie that has the flower on it. But it was making these little indentations on her head, but to be honest with you, I didn't really think much of it because that was how life was.
She's like, it's so cute.
The phrase that we were taught was, "It hurts to be beautiful." So I did
be...
have that in my
right. So you're gonna let
I didn't think anything of it.
I gotta tell Siren that.
I didn't even think anything of it.
I'm gonna, hey yo, Siren, you gotta make a video on this, girl. It hurts to be beautiful. Here we go.
But then he started making a big thing of it, and then after every time I take the headband off her head, I was like, yeah, this kind of. So I bought some ones for older toddlers and reconstructed it with its flower on it, so then it would be a soft little band. It was much better.
I had to pray for Shorty. But yeah, like there's no.
Vinny came to her aid on a few different occasions.
Rare or it's not common right now. Yeah, like for her, yeah. So like that girl like. There's no half nothing, in our circle.
Mm-hmm.
There's no half anything.
Mm-hmm.
And our family philosophy is really, based on my personality, which is extremely extreme. So if you're in my circle, you're in my circle. And there's no, well, this person is this person is this person has this percentage of my DNA. Mm-hmm. Are they in the circle or not? They're in the circle. That's it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to live together with you. I'm going to die together with you. Mm-hmm. Folks going to die if they fuck with my girls. But I think there's a lot of dudes like that. Maybe they don't know how to express it, or they don't get the opportunity, or, whatever. But I love that about the movie, that he wasn't the dad. He wasn't even he wasn't half of anything, half of her DNA. And, we talk a lot about physicalism and things like that. Mm-hmm. Like where we say there's a certain belief system that only physical matters, what's important. Mm-hmm. And if that was true, then when it was revealed that he was not the father,
yeah,
that shouldn't have been anything.
That should have.
Because that means he had no physical input as to whether or not she was on the planet.
Yeah.
But there was a bunch of metaphysics going on with this guy. Because there's a physical aspect to parenting, but we also understand there's a metaphysical aspect to parenting. Mm-hmm. That's the reason people say things like, there's a difference between a dad and a father, mm-hmm. or a male and a man, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Because what we're saying is there is a non-physical aspect to your character and to your nature that is fatherhood that your kids deserve. Mm-hmm. So you can't just do these physical acts. I provide, I protect. Those are physical acts, but you still owe your kid metaphysical mm-hmm. protection and metaphysical provision, et cetera, mm-hmm. et cetera. Mm-hmm. And so that's what the movie was. The movie was saying, look, he is not physically in any way, shape, or form this girl's father. Mm-hmm. But his metaphysical engagement with her was such that it trumps and then defines fatherhood in a completely different way.
Right.
And that was the biggest thing for me. I also will say that the Julie character, I thought also that the writing of that Julie character was interesting. But before I do that, some of Mike's commentary. Mike is saying, it's rare, not common, and that he always wishes the best for our family. And I appreciate it with a lot of you guys like that. And, we're Christians, so we believe that those well wishes, whatever they are, as long as they're in God word, then mm-hmm. that counts. Mm-hmm. And so we will take all your thoughts and prayers, dear listener.
Mm-hmm. But so you said you liked the Julie character.
I didn't like the Julie character, but I liked what the writers did. I liked what the writers did with her, because it showed her being a conflicted person. It showed that she truly did love her daughter and was like, okay, I'm coming to my senses now, that type of thing. And by the end of the movie, it appears that she, especially once she learned about the timeline. Mm-hmm. Once she understood that, okay, the last few whatever of this child's life needs to be with this dude. Like, I can't do that to her. I thought that was a very the movie did not have a clean ending. Like it didn't have a happy ending. It didn't have a, whatever. Presumably that woman is going to go on with her partner and move on and probably get a surrogate somewhere, and he's going to move on, and he's a lover boy, so he'll find somebody. But what a privilege to be able to raise a kid.
Mm.
Like it, um, like I always like I don't know everybody's situation, but to have a human being in your life where you on instinct are willing to sacrifice yourself and simultaneous to that, that being cannot reciprocate. Baby can't reciprocate anything. Like I've supported Sori through difficult stuff. I'm going through a difficult period of my life right now. She's like insane, supportive, ridiculous. Like you literally can't put a tight price tag on it. You know, and so like being being able to have that kind of support in those types of situations is priceless. And that's the other thing. You don't share my DNA either, right? But like we're the like everybody, the world,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
except for you, knows how I feel about you. And so yeah, I that was the deepest message to me of the movie was people are imperfect. You saw it. We talk about original sin, image of God. We saw it. The dad, he's the image of God. So even though the mom abandoned this girl, he didn't say your mom is a horrible, terrible, blah 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 blah. Um, he protected that image in this girl's head. That was the image of God in him.
Mm-hmm.
But the way he did it was to lie.
Mm-hmm.
That's the brokenness in him. That's the Adam in him, right? And like
Mm-hmm.
with this woman, like her sinful nature is clear. Like she abandoned her child because she couldn't control her sexual appetites or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
right? So much so that she didn't even know who the father of the baby was. Like to this day, we don't know who the father of the baby was. So she's obviously a flawed character.
But she didn't kill the kid.
She didn't kill the kid, but and in the end, she does end up coming around and saying, "I need to take a back seat for this child." And so she kind of but she's not perfect. They're not perfect. Mm-hmm. She doesn't break up with a girlfriend and then marry that guy and
Mm-hmm.
fly to New Zealand and get some emergency therapy and now they can all be a family. Like
yeah.
This is an untied shoelace in the timeline of these people. Like Shorty's gone, So it was that was the biggest thing that I got from this movie, man, was that family is really not about what's in your DNA. It's the people that you have pledged allegiance to for your life. Those are your family. That's your family. And the people that pledge it back to you. Like I said, Sori, like there's a lot of reciprocity happening. I've supported her through dark times. She supported me. But the child-parent relationship is different because it's only supposed to go one way. Your kid is not supposed to be your emotional support pet or whatever.
Yep.
Right?
You don't get back at the other parent by using the kids. That's I've seen it over and over. Vinny, protecting the kids by not giving them information that they just shouldn't have. That you've seen, like I had friends that came from kind of messed up family systems and stuff, and there was always like weird stuff that parents would say that you're like, wow, I'm surprised they said that, but they did. So you almost normalize it. And then being in this relationship and just seeing like there were so many times where the kids were asking questions or there was something, whatever, and you were protecting, the best that you could on the situation that was there. And, I learned a lot from watching you with them and how to engage those different situations. And I've also learned that it is really important for kids to have both of their parents, in their lives. And obviously that can be really complicated and difficult to accomplish sometimes, but where there's a will, there's a way. Like if you really want to fight to make it happen, it can happen, but it does require sacrifice on the part of everybody involved usually. But it's always better like if the parents can do the sacrificing, because ultimately we're the ones that frigged up their lives, like what do they what decisions can they make their kids, like, you pick the person that you're going to be with, and then when that thing doesn't work, then you decide that this is not going to work. And so it's still all decisions that that we're making, and the kids are just like, here I am, I'm going along for this ride. So
Yeah.
it's really good if both parents have the mindset that, okay, like, we have to do damage control as much as we can to prevent this explosion from touching the kid as much as it possibly can, because when relationships end, it's a difficult thing. It's obviously better, like, if you can make the relationship work, obviously, with the exception of, that people shouldn't stay in abusive situations, absolutely not. But there are times where people are like, man, I'm just not very happy here. It's like, okay, well, somebody's going to not be happy. Like, maybe you can figure out a way to make it work, seeing as there are so many relationships that have been brought together by, like, traditional means of, like, the parents pick this one and pick this one, and those people can make it work. So in America, we're so driven by romanticism, and I get it. I'm a romantic at heart, and I love that our relationship is romantic. But when things get difficult and things get hard, like when people just kind of throw in the towel on it and just be like, yeah, this isn't working for me anymore, the kids are gonna have to, if you don't put the work in on that relationship and find those ways, like, the kids are gonna bear it. Somebody's gonna do some sacrificing.
Yeah, that's a big thing. In a divorce, somebody's going to get sacrificed consistently. Mike says you have to understand the child didn't need therapy because she thought the belief of her father. Yeah, I mean, I think that that's so true. Like, and you gotta really toe the line. Therapy isn't necessarily a bad thing. But I do, and people go on extremes on one side or the other. But I do think that there is a lot of ground that can be covered with consistency. And it's really
Mhm.
interesting. Like, it's almost better for the girl. I got to be careful how I say this, but it was almost better for the girl that the mom was completely out of the picture until,
Until
she
she's ready to
she
come
was
back.
clearly ready to
Yeah.
actually come back and contribute as an actual
Yeah.
mother,
Yeah.
really fulfill promises, that
Hmm.
kind of thing. It's almost more difficult when the non-engaged parent is around.
Just.
And so, especially as the kid becomes more of age and they start realizing, wait, all you had to do was jump in the car for 3 minutes and you never saw me.
Yeah.
We had a lot of conversations like that in the hood about our dads, mostly, to be stereotypically frank. Um, those are tough discussions. I just thought this is kind of like a sleeper movie, Mike, to me, because I was like, oh, okay, it's gonna be. But it was I found myself really deeply impacted by the writing because it was so realistic and
Yeah.
true to life.
Yeah.
It really. But again, it just shows, like, I understand, man. Like, we're modern people. It's 2024. Blah blah blah. But I'm telling you, man, kids need mom and dad. They
Hmm.
just do. They just
Hmm.
do. And we do not live in the Garden of Eden. And so, because of that, things like this are going to happen. And I think
Yeah.
no matter what's going on, I believe no matter what the divorce, for the most part, 99% of parents, both sides want what's best for the kid. You know, the crazy thing is like, if your parents made it without divorcing, that's great for your experience as a child. But then if you end up getting divorced, you don't really know how to navigate that in the best way. So there's things that happened at the beginning that me and you got protected from because I said, no, we're not going to do that.
100%.
We're not going to
100%.
do that. And it wasn't
Yeah.
about protecting us. It was really about protecting the kid.
Yeah.
But I knew things, So, like, what a really great movie, Mike. At the same time, if the daughter has a terminal illness, you do the best you can for your daughter. Well, this guy did. But there's lots of dudes, even with the terminal illness, that would not have. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of dudes that would have went the other way.
Hmm.
There's a lot of dudes that would have taken the paternity test
Right.
at that point.
Right.
You know, so it's a lot of it's a very, very challenging movie to watch if you have gone through this because it does
Right.
hit true to life.
Yeah.
On some things.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. There was a number of different points where I was like, oh, I know that feeling. Ooh, I know that feeling. Um, I love the way that he protected her and the ways that he did stuff that was like cute. You're like that. Like so there were some times where he would like try to make her laugh when situations were difficult. Um, I've seen, I've seen you do all kinds of funny things when the kids are feeling badly, and you'll talk to them like it's not just all about just jokes and fun. Like there's serious conversation and there's hugs and there's love, and then there's well, let's lighten the mood now. And so some some joke will come out by Vinny in those situations that it's always cute. I like whenever they cast like a man character that can actually be like somewhat competent as a parent. It's always cute. So yeah, I love seeing you with moments with the kids, the way that you talk to them. It's always more grown up than how he at one point he was like saying something about having to talk like in like baby talk to the kid.
Yeah.
I think to make the kid eat or something like that. I don't know. But Vinny is not like that. Vinny never does like the baby talk with kids. So he'll be like just like talking to them like really grown up sometimes. And I'm like, there's no way that kid. I've learned now that they do understand a lot more than you expect them to. But when it first started happening and they would like respond back to him like with the appropriate answer, I was like, how the heck did he know that kid knows that? But yeah, it's funny.
Mike, you can't see this on your side, but we maxed out at 108 people based on all the platforms we were on when we were streaming. Okay, we got a giant contingent of people over watching the whole thing on Twitter. Shout out to all my Twitter people.
Shout out to Twitter.
Do a retweet, guys. Retweet, send a screenshot, and you get put in the drawing for a free song.
That's right.
A free song. You never know. I might also give away a free golden ticket on Patreon. And a golden ticket gets you access to everything that you're going to want in season 3. Believe you me. This was great. You did excellent. Give us a know-how on how to be a movie director.
On how to be a movie director.
Yep. We're gonna have an alliance leaders meeting, / council elders meeting tomorrow, probably the day after tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So that we can hash out that. But yeah, director Mike. We've already got 2 directors in this going already. Director Mike, this was great. This was really, really excellent.
We had director Nick as our first director.
Director Nick as our first ever director. Yep. Yeah.
He's the one that opened the doors for this.
Yeah. We're going to build out director of the month and DJ of the month. And somebody might even be able to win a double crown. That'll be interesting. Yeah, Mike, man. Everybody type 22 for director Mike. Mike, I'm going to talk about Mike for a little bit, and he generally doesn't like talking about himself, but it's too bad. Mike has been one of the most consistent DJs in the last year and a half, 2 years. And he's always come with a unique mix of music, and he's always like...
well thought out.
He's always one of those people that's like pushing the envelope. So like now, oh, boom, he's like, oh, y'all got movies? Boom, I got this movie for you.
Yep.
And, like, we're edgy. We're like the edgy metal people, our community. We got black things here, blah, 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 corpse paint. It's like, let's do this family movie. Like,
yeah, and cry.
Yeah. Well, like, if you were on the outside of our community, like, that movie's just going to flop. We did higher numbers than Elvis on this movie.
Interesting.
Okay. So that just shows you, that's your instinct, Mike. It's a really, really good instinct. I was like, all right, we'll have like 30 people in here max. I'm sitting here looking at the ticker. It's just going everywhere. Shout out to all you beautiful people on Twitter, by the way. I don't think what we're doing on Twitter, nobody's doing so far. We're just going to keep doing that until Twitter figures it out. But hopefully we'll remain small enough to where we can always do this. But shout out to all my people on the Twitter side. DJ Mike, lots of 22 here. Lots of 22s here. Great job. So Mike, before we land this plane, and thank you guys for hanging out so much. We're about to cross into the 3-hour mark. And Mike has given us he gave us about 30, 45 minutes of his time after that. So thank you, Mike. Mike, maybe you can give us a little background into what your thought process was for selecting this movie. How did you know it was going to be a hit, or did you know it was going to be a hit, or were you just trying to make Sori cry?
And I want to know, how did you find this film in the first place?
That's another one.
Yeah.
This film came out in 2013 or 2014-ish.
Yeah.
Some of the jokes they made would not track well anymore.
No, yeah.
You know?
I was like, wait a minute.
It just shows you how quickly time is like changed.
Yeah.
How quickly everything has changed.
The other thing too is if the dad would have been like just like a regular white guy.
Well, by the way, we reinitiated YouTube because there's nothing to block anymore. You're getting a bunch of 22s on the YouTube side as well. Ren not Ren, by the way, thank you very much. I got in contact with E. Soraya sent the email, so I feel pretty good. We should be able to get all that taken care of. And now that I have somebody directly related to the homie, we're gonna do our best to try to get an interview with the big homie Ren. So thank you very much for that, Ren not Ren. And listen, Ren not Ren, if I do land that interview, oh fuck it. If we get that thing lifted, we're gonna also put you in the drawing for a free song, because that was a really solid thing. And if we do an interview, then you're definitely gonna get a free song. I'm assuming it's gonna be a Ren song, so whatever. So thank you for that, by the way.
Yeah, what I was saying is if it would have been a white guy, I wouldn't have felt so weird about his ignorance at the beginning. But it was like, it's another nationality, and then they're kind of painting him as being a little bit of ignorant, on some topics.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if we can, is this okay to,
yeah.
I mean.
yeah. But like, it just depends on your audience. Our audience, like, I'm not going to say the rest of the internet is dumb. That's ridiculous. But I do think that our audience is a little bit higher
above the ball.
On the intelligence. I just do. I do.
I do too.
The lady's 16 years old. She's having she can hold a conversation about geopolitical whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, Sori does research on her own. Like, it should be messy. Like, what the fuck is going on here? I don't know. So yeah. What do you rate the movie?
Man. I guess I'd probably like an 8.7. 8.7.
You're probably gonna be surprised at this movie.
What?
I would give this a 9.8, and let me tell you why. If I could have a 4-week course on being a stepfather, that movie would be required.
Yep.
Because I think this guy, no, I hate people. You're absolutely live right now. Thank you for showing up, even though you hate us. I literally would show this movie.
You know what? If I was gonna do stuff on moms coming into the picture and what to do and what not to do, I would also use this movie, because there were so many things that you could use from her character that would show like, okay, don't do this. This is something. This is good. This is not good. This is. You know what I mean? It was
real.
Yeah, there was a lot there.
It was, whoever wrote this has experienced this situation at some level.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Is very, very close to someone because it was so. I would literally use this for training.
Yeah.
I really, really would.
I can see that.
Because the mistakes are also there, because you can go the other side and because I've been in situations where like I'm trying to cover for the bad parent, and it got to lines where afterward God's like,
it went too far.
Lying is not.
Yeah.
Lying to protect the image of the other parent is not what you should do. But if you're good-hearted and good-natured about it, you're going to do that. And so that would have been good to be able to have somebody tell me there's got to be a third way here, because we need to protect the bad parent. Unless the parent is like gonna cause immediate bodily harm, which this person is not. Mm-hmm. It's just he has, in my opinion, a bad mindset about women, and I think especially in 2024, especially, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot going on, but yeah. So that's great, guys. That's great. So yeah, it's a 9.8 for me, because I truly, truly believe that this would be I'm gonna do a five album Beatles stream. It will be a 16-hour stream.
um,
Five albums? That would not be a 16-hour stream. That would probably be like we would just be doing all Beatles for 2 weeks, honestly,
oh
if you
gosh.
did that. Because I wouldn't want to. I'm not gonna skimp. If somebody does like we're doing
Dwayne's
five,
joking. It's Dwayne.
if somebody did that,
He has a bedtime. He
it
couldn't
would
even stay
not.
up for
It would
16.
not be for 16 hours.
Yeah.
It would be about
It's ridiculous.
all our channel would be nothing but Beatles for literally probably 14 days in a row. Via same as the warning from Mexico. Same as the warning from Mexico. Yeah. That right there. By the way, all you beautiful people on Twitter land, all the rest of it, follow Warning on Twitter, Instagram. All they're not the next band. They're the band right now. They're the band right now in the world. Them, Warning. I'm dead serious.
Check them out.
Check them out and go follow them. You'll see. And then listen to them live. You'll hear these girls on recording like, oh man, those girls are badass. Listen to them live. They're worse live. It's terrible. The talent that those girls have is like completely unfair. Honestly, like you're not gonna hear anything like this band in the world. Go check them out. And this has nothing to do with the movie.
But it does have to do with Mexico. So
I'm just saying, like this band is so crazy. But yeah, this was a great movie.
okay, I'm gonna give this. I'll bump it up.
It's an all-time movie.
Based off
really,
of
really
what
is.
you can learn from it. So I'm gonna go to a 9.3. Yeah, 9.3.
Yeah, just it. Like I said, it's 2 hours. You can't fit every nuance of what it means to be a stepfather. But they
put a lot in there.
The big picture meta principles, they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
On both sides.
Yeah.
And I loved it too because like the woman was presented as a flawed character. She was flawed, but they didn't like dog her out completely. And you're still supposed to assume like, yeah, it's a little sus that you just randomly appeared at 5 years, but that is her child. And so she's got to be in there. I just thought it was just great.
Yeah.
It's just really, 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 really great.
Yep.
Really good job. All right, guys. Much love to all you beautiful people, all you wonderful people on Rumble. Thank you so much. Only thing I got to tell you guys is we need more likes on the Rumble side. Did you see what we're able to do? We were able to watch a full movie start to finish all the way on Rumble. Now, I know you guys on YouTube, YouTube, if you're here, you guys caught us before the movie and then after the movie. If you want to watch the full uninterrupted thing, there's right there on Rumble. We also have the 10-song mega stream with the big homie Ren. That is also uninterrupted at Rumble. Right now it's blocked. We're Ren and I and Ren, not Ren, Sori, this guy named E. We're working on getting that fixed. So all the streams that are blocked, you can watch them on Rumble. The last 2 or 3 streams that we did have been copyrighted and blocked, and that's okay. We have them on Rumble. Keep going on Rumble. Keep sharing it. Keep liking it. The more we do that, the more these events we're going to be able to do. And then you guys are going to be able to see them in entirety. You won't have to worry about, which video is the right video and all the rest of it. You won't have to worry about copyright claims, none of that shit. You'll be able to have us watch the official video the whole time. So there you go. Much love to all you beautiful people. Our address on Rumble is going to be the first thing in the description. Also, if you are a patron, Soraya is gonna put up a poll as to what other things in season 3 can we do for patrons.
That poll is actually already up there.
Yeah.
It's got three. If you go through the list of uploads, there's a poll up there, and the poll is going to be 3 or 4 different things that do you want to see more of this stuff, and the 4th option is DM me and tell me a suggestion that you have. So if you decide you want to DM me and send a suggestion, just click on that one so that one gets more points on the poll. And then give me your idea. We're open to a lot of different things. Right now it seems like watch funny videos and react to it. Me alone or maybe Vinny and I, depending. That seems to be what most people are picking. Some people have picked, let's do a read a book together and just upload chapter reads. But go in there and vote. Let your voice be heard.
Yeah, and I've got
some ideas.
4 years ago, I started this kind of fantasy series type of thing. It was like a chapter by chapter type of thing. If we get 10 requests for it on Patreon, I will fire that up again. I just don't want to start, like, I got so many ideas in my head about it, but I didn't want to start doing it unless folks were gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, wanted to add value. But anyway,
Yep.
Much love to all you beautiful people. Freaking Mike, really good movie. Listen, guys, I know some of you guys are going to be directors in the future, and I don't want people to feel pressure. The last movie with Elvis was great. Obviously, we're a metal channel, so like having that was great. This movie was massively close to home because, you know, it kind of replicated some of the situations, and we were pretty effusive about the praise. But don't feel insecure. If you want to get like a regular Hollywood blockbuster that's just a bunch of explosions and shit, quite frankly, the theme of season 3 is just we're just going to be together for extended periods of time. That's the theme. So don't worry about having to choose, you know, be a Mike Franco level director or whatever with the movies that you're going to watch. We can watch extremely significant movies like we just did, or we can watch, you know, mindless dumb movies. The point is we're all going to stay around each other. We're going to talk. We're going to talk before. We're going to talk afterward. That's that. I'm really going to invest in a popcorn maker and other shit. So I really do want to eat popcorn when I'm done. We went over a little bit. Thank you very, very much.
Guys, thanks for coming through. We really enjoyed watching this with you guys.
Thank you for coming through and watching it with us, guys. Thank you guys for being so responsive in the chat. Thank you all you beautiful people on Twitter.
Thanks for
you guys are amazing. Remember to retweet, then send a picture of it to Sori@gmail.com. We love you all. Feet out.
Sori out.
Gone.